It always seems impossible until it's done. Would probably be one of my favorite quotes because I think we tend to, at times, limit ourselves. And there's certain constraints that we put upon ourselves for whatever reason, whether it's how we were raised, whatever situation we're in, and we think that things that are really attainable aren't really attainable. And I think with a little bit of effort and a little bit of energy, almost anything is impossible with the right people around you. My position currently, I am the Trauma Medical Director at St. Francis Medical Center. So I run a Level 2 trauma center in Southern California. Unfortunately, we have one of the highest penetrating rates in Southern California due to the communities that we serve currently. The hospital is located in Lynwood, California. We're in this sort of southeast LA, and we serve the communities of Lynwood, Downey, Compton, Watts, a portion of Long Beach, some of Maywood, Santa Fe Springs, those communities. You'd be surprised at how many people just really don't know that it's as bad as it is in certain places. Like I can tell you, there's probably more than, I don't know if I just gave you a rough number, probably more than 10 gunshots a week in our community. But how often do you hear about it? Really, on the news, anywhere? You don't. But if there's a shooting anywhere else, one shooting, you'll hear about it. The same goes with education, same goes with lack of resources. If you really talk to a lot of people who don't live in this community, a lot of them just don't know. They just don't know. A lot of it is black on black, brown on brown, black on brown. I think a lot of that is hatred and animosity based on race. I think there's some self-hate in there that we deal with in our communities, which leads us to what we see a lot of. In this community, the most dangerous thing to a young African-American male or a young Latino male is another African-American male or Latino male, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. I think it is possible to change the level of violence that we see in Southern California, particularly this hospital area, catchment area. Certainly possible. It's just something that I can't do by myself. You guys can't do it by yourself. It's going to take a sort of like, there's a saying, it takes a village to raise a child. It'll take an entire community to sort of change the circumstances. Do we hate now because of perceived differences? I think so. But if you ask somebody what exactly do they hate, I'm not sure many people could actually tell you. I think it's just more of a lack of understanding of our similarities. And for whatever reason, that has sort of driven this huge divide. And that divide is reflected by hatred probably in some, but I think it's more of a misunderstanding. Because I think if you really ask somebody, do I hate this person? They'll probably say yes, but then you say, tell me why. There's probably no real description behind it, other than the fact that their skin's different and they live on a different block. When we talk about the microcosm of the community, I think it's just accepting the differences in your neighbor and sort of embracing our similarities. I think it starts there. And as that begins to grow, I think the community begins to come together. I hope at some point we can disagree without being violently disagreeable, which is a little bit tough for some of us. I don't think it's impossible to end this separation in this particular community. I think it's going to be difficult. There's going to be difficult times ahead. There's going to be some bumps in the road. I think it's not impossible. I think it's going to take some time. I think it's going to take some healing. It's going to take a lot of self-reflection and a lot of introspection, but I think it's certainly possible. When that day comes, I do not know. Hopefully I'll be alive to see it. But if not, hopefully the next generation, moves forward with this mission and they achieve it.